Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Anuja Kumar and with me is Renuka Aris with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister announces 1,000 crore rupee assistance to West Bengal and 500 crore rupees to Odisha for relief and rehabilitation work. RBI slashes lending rates and extends moratorium on loan repayment by 3 months to support economic growth. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 41%. Government proposes to raise airtime for advertisements on community radio to 12 minutes from 7 minutes per hour, says Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan takes charge as Chairman of WHO Executive Board. And Pakistan plane with 107 on board crashes in residential area in Karachi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses grief. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced 1,000 crore rupee assistance to West Bengal and 500 crore rupees to Odisha for relief and rehabilitation works in Cyclone Umpun affected areas of the two states. The Prime Minister announced the advance assistance package for West Bengal at Boshirhat in North 24 Barkanas district after an administrative meeting. The meeting was held to assess the extent of damages caused by the super cyclonic storm. The Prime Minister also announced 2 lakh rupee compensation to the families of each victim killed in the storm-related incidents.
भारत सरकार के जो भी नीति नियम है उसका पूरी तरह उपयोग करते हुए पश्चिम बंगाल की मदद में हम खड़े रहेंगे। अभी तत्काल जो इस संकट की घड़ी में राज्य सरकार को कठिनाई न हो इसके लिए एक एडवांस असिस्टेंस के रूप में 1,000 करोड़ रुपया भारत सरकार की तरफ से व्यवस्था की जाएगी। साथ साथ जिन परिवारों ने अपने स्वजन खोए हैं उन परिवारों को प्रधानमंत्री राहत कोष से 2 लाख रुपया और जिन लोगों को इंजरी हुई है उनको 50,000 रुपये तक की सहायता देने का भी हम प्रधानमंत्री राहत कोष से करेंगे।
Mr. Modi also informed that a central team will also arrive in the state soon to assess the damages.
अभी राज्य सरकार ने और मुख्यमंत्री जी ने विस्तार से मेरे सामने जो भी प्राथमिक आकलन है उसका ब्यौरा दिया है। हमने तय किया है कि हो सके उतना जल्द डिटेल में सर्वे हो। केंद्र सरकार की तरफ से भी तत्काल एक टीम आएगी और वो टीम इन सभी क्षेत्रों में सर्वे करेगी और हम मिल करके रिहेबिलिटेशन हो, रिस्टोरेशन हो, रिकंस्ट्रक्शन हो, उसकी व्यापक योजना बना करके बंगाल की इस दुख की घड़ी में हम पूरा साथ देंगे, सहयोग देंगे।
Earlier, the Prime Minister, accompanied by West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, made an aerial survey of the cyclone-hit areas in the state. The Prime Minister announced 500 crore rupee advance assistance for Odisha, considering the damage caused by Cyclone Umpun. He also announced an ex-gratia of 2 lakh rupees to the family members of the deceased and 50,000 to the seriously injured in the cyclone. The Prime Minister made the announcement in Bhubaneswar after holding a review meeting.
तत्काल आवश्यकता को ध्यान में रखते हुए भारत सरकार की तरफ से 500 करोड़ रुपया एडवांस व्यवस्था के रूप में देने का हमने निर्णय किया है और बाकी आवश्यकताएं एक बार कंप्लीट सर्वे होने के बाद रिहेबिलिटेशन की पूरी योजना बनने के बाद भारत सरकार भी कंधे से कंधा मिला करके ओडिशा के विकास की यात्रा में और इस संकट की घड़ी से बाहर निकलने के काम में पूरी तरह मदद करेगा।
More from our correspondent.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today visited Odisha to take stock of the situation in wake of the cyclone. During his visit, the Prime Minister made an aerial survey of the Bhadrak and Baleshwar districts to assess the impact of the cyclone. After the survey, PM chaired a meeting in Bhubaneswar with Chief Minister Nabin Patnaik, which was attended by Governor Professor Ganesi Lal, Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas Dharmendra Pradhan, Union Minister of State Pratap Chandra Sarangi and other senior officials. Iti Shri Singh Rathore, AIR News, Cuttack.
The Reserve Bank of India today cut the repo rate by 40 basis points from 4.4% to 4%, reducing the reverse repo rate at 3.35% to maintain an accommodative stance. The RBI Governor, Shaktikant Das, while addressing the media, said that the 6-member Monetary Policy Committee voted 5-1 in favour of 40 basis points cut in the interest rate.
On the quantum of reduction, the MPC voted with 5:1 majority to reduce the policy repo rate 40 basis points from 4.4% to 4%. Consequently, the MSF rate and the bank rate now stand reduced to 4.25% and reverse repo rate stands reduced to 3.35%.
The RBI Governor said measures announced today can be divided into 4 categories: to improve functioning of markets, to support exports and imports, to ease financial stress by giving relief on debt servicing and better access to working capital, and to ease financial constraints faced by the state governments. Speaking about the impact of COVID-19, Mr. Das said the GDP growth in 2020 to 21 goes in negative territory. The headline inflation may remain firm in first half of the year, ease in the second half, falling below 4% in Q3, Q4 of financial year 2020-21. Granting relief to the people, the RBI extended the moratorium on loan repayments by 3 months in view of COVID-19, starting from 1st of June to 31st of August 2020. Amidst this encircling gloom, the Apex Bank Governor said agriculture and allied activities have, however, provided a beacon of hope on the back of an increase of 3.7% in food grains production to a new record. Speaking exclusively to AIR News, Vice Chairman Niti Aayog Rajiv Kumar welcomed RBI's announcement of reduction of 40 basis points in repo rate. He said the series of reductions in lending rates by RBI since the beginning of the nationwide lockdown will boost liquidity flow in the market.
Very timely, very welcome, and hopefully will work to encourage the banks to do greater amount of lending and push money out of the door rather than park it with RBI under the reverse repo rate. So the reduction in the repo rate as well as in the reverse repo rate are both very, very welcome moves.
Mr. Kumar also said that 3-month extension to the moratorium on loans would help ease the borrowers to reinvigorate the economic activities.
Very good move given the current situation with the pandemic and the lockdown. There are several sectors which have suffered 100% revenue loss, and these people have no earnings at all and they are in no position to service the debts that they have. So therefore this moratorium is most welcome. Also the fact that they have allowed them to convert their payment into a term loan again would also help, because these people will find it easier to pay off this interest rather than to have to be paid up front. So both those moves focused on helping industrial and service sectors who have suffered abnormally with the pandemic.
Health and Family Welfare Ministry said that a total of 48,534 people affected with coronavirus have been cured from the coronavirus, and the recovery rate has reached around 41% in the country. Health Ministry said that during the last 24 hours, 3,234 people have recovered. It said case mortality rate has also improved in the country and it has reached to 3.02%. The ministry further said government is focusing on worst affected districts with the coordination of the state governments.
हमारा फोकस उन स्टेट्स और डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स पर है जहां पर ये ज्यादा केसेस रिपोर्ट हुए हैं. हम स्टेट्स के साथ मिलकर वहां पर कंटेनमेंट और क्लिनिकल मैनेजमेंट ऑफ केसेस पर फोकस कर रहे हैं. आज जरूरत है कि हम सब मिलकर रिक्वायर्ड प्रिकॉशंस लेते हुए इस इन्फेक्शियस डिजीज से अपने आप को और अपने परिवार को बचाएं.
Indian Council of Medical Research said total 27,55,714 tests have been done till 1 p.m. today, and within 24 hours, 1,03,829 tests have been done by the various governments and private laboratory chains in the country. Member Health in Niti Aayog Dr. V.K. Paul said 1 crore treatments have been done under the Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, which is a great achievement. He said 14,000 health and wellness centers have been commissioned so far. He said decision of lockdown has been taken in a timely manner and it proved beneficial for the public to restrict the expansion of the coronavirus in the country. Mr. Paul said doubling rate of COVID-19 cases was 3.4 days when lockdown was started, and it is now at 13.3 days. He said current active cases are concentrated in a few states, cities, districts, and 80% cases are in 5 states: Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Delhi, and Madhya Pradesh. He said the lockdown proved gainful in terms of preparedness. Mr. Paul said 10 crore people are using Arogya Setu app and telemedicine is increasing day by day.
Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today took over as the chairman of the World Health Organization WHO Executive Board. Dr. Harshvardhan has been elected as chair of the Executive Board of WHO for the year 2020-21. He has replaced Dr. Hiroki Nakatani of Japan. Addressing the board through teleconference, Dr. Harshvardhan called for a shared response from member countries to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic.
I am aware that I am entering this office at a time of global crisis on account of this pandemic. At a time when we are fighting to simply stay alive, and at a time when we all understand that there are going to be many urgent health challenges in the next 2 decades. All these challenges demand a shared response because these are shared threats requiring shared responsibility to act. This is also the core philosophy of our alliance of member nations that comprise WHO.
Highlighting India's efforts in tackling COVID-19, he said that the country faced COVID-19 in a proactive and preemptive way with unmatched scale and determination.
When India decides, it performs. We eradicated smallpox and polio in our country at a time when there was abject poverty. More recently, we faced with the threat of COVID-19 in a proactive and preemptive way with unmatched scale and determination. Today we have a mortality of 3% only. In a country of 1.35 billion, there are only 0.1 million cases of COVID-19. The recovery rate is above 40% and the doubling rate is 13 days.
The Executive Board of WHO is composed of 34 technically qualified members elected for 3-year term. The main functions of the board are to implement the decisions and policies of the Health Assembly and advise and facilitate its work. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Zavadekar today said that government is eager to raise airtime for advertisements to 12 minutes from 7 minutes per hour on community radio stations to bring them at par with TV channels. The minister was addressing listeners of all the community radio stations through All India Radio News.
We allow 7 minutes per hour of local advertisements for community radios. We give 12 minutes to the TV channel. I am eager to give equal time to all India radio stations, FM radio stations, and also the community radios. Because then you can be on your own. You need not ask anybody for funds because there are many local advertisements who will like to relay their advertisements on community radio.
Mr. Zavadekar said, community radio is a community in itself and it is agents of change. He said ministry will come out with a plan to increase the number of such stations soon. He said 75% of the expenditure for setting up of community radio stations is borne by the ministry. On the key demand of community radio of broadcasting news from their platform, the minister assured that he will consider it. He prodded stations to play a key role in combating fake news menace by verifying it through local sources. Mr. Zavadekar said that fake news is very dangerous and should not be considered as part of press freedom.
Fake news is not press freedom. Fake news are very dangerous. And therefore, we must stop fake news at the root. And therefore, we are having the PIB fact check unit, which verifies the facts. And community radio also can do by verifying the facts with their local contacts and immediately repair it, because that is the big and very important national duty to be performed.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister announces 1,000 crore rupee assistance to West Bengal and 500 crore rupee to Odisha for relief and rehabilitation work. Says the nation stands in solidarity with our sister and brother in West Bengal and Odisha. RBI slashes lending rates and extends moratorium on loan repayment by 3 months to support economic growth. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 41%. Government proposes to raise airtime for advertisements on community radio to 12 minutes from 7 minutes per hour, says Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan takes charge as chairman of WHO Executive Board. Pakistan plane with 107 on board crashes in residential area in Karachi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses grief. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. 7 flights from Muscat, Doha, Riyadh, Bahrain and Dubai from the Gulf under the Vande Bharat mission took off with nearly 1,200 distressed and stranded Indians back to the country today. From Dubai, there was a flight to Srinagar with 151 passengers and 4 infants. This was the first flight for Srinagar from any of the Gulf countries. Consul General Vipul called this a historic flight as this is the first time that a direct flight was operated from Dubai to Srinagar to repatriate stranded and distressed passengers. There are no direct flights for Srinagar from Dubai otherwise. 2 other flights from Dubai were scheduled for Hyderabad and Kochi. Doha to Bengaluru flight took off with 177 passengers and 5 infants on the board. One Air India flight arrived in Bengaluru this evening from Malé, Maldives, with 147 passengers. After medical and immigration process, the passengers will be taken for 14 days quarantine. One special flight carrying about 150 Indian nationals from London landed in Jaipur International Airport.
Kerala reports the highest number of COVID-19 cases in a single day, with 42 new positive cases being confirmed today.
Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that since the first COVID case being reported in Kerala in January, it was today that reported the highest single-day positive cases, which is of great concern. Out of the newly confirmed 42 cases, 21 people are returnees from Maharashtra and 17 people returned from abroad in last few days. The total active cases in the state rose to 216. The number of people under observation also drastically increased to over 84,000. Chief Minister said that the situation is getting extremely serious that demands immediate enhancement of COVID preventive measures in the state as more returnees are expected in coming days. He further said that there is no situation of panic as the state is fully prepared to ensure sufficient medical treatment to all. Meanwhile, under the Vande Bharat mission, flight carrying stranded Indian nationals from Amman and from London arrived in Kochi today. Flights from Muscat to Kannur, Bahrain to Thiruvananthapuram and Dubai to Kochi will also be arriving in a short while. Over 600 expatriates will be arriving in Kerala today under the mission. Mayusha for AIR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
The Ministry of Health has issued a guidance note for immunization services during and post-COVID-19 outbreak. The ministry has said that birth dose vaccinations at health facilities will continue irrespective of the categorization of zones amid the COVID-19 pandemic. It said an area in a containment or a buffer zone category can start facility-based and outreach immunization activities only after a minimum gap of 14 days. Immunization services will be classified under 2 heads: immunization in containment and buffer zone, and immunization in areas beyond the buffer and green zone. More from our correspondent.
Delivery of immunization services for different zones will follow the guidelines of the Home Ministry and Health Ministry pertaining to COVID-19, and states are not allowed to violate any COVID-19 guidance. Practices of social distancing, hand washing, and respiratory hygiene need to be maintained at all immunization sessions irrespective of zones. The ministry said immunization services in containment and buffer zone would involve no active mobilization to the health facility. At any given time during the immunization session, not more than 5 persons should be present at the site with at least 1 meter distance between each. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Maldives has said it cannot support any action within the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, that singles out or targets India. This was stated by Maldives' permanent representative to United Nations Ambassador Tilmiza Hussain in a recently organized virtual meeting of OIC ambassadors to the UN, where the issue of growing Islamophobia in South Asia was discussed. The Maldives ambassador stated that singling out India, the largest democracy in the world and a multicultural society and home to over 200 million Muslims, would be factually incorrect. The issue was raised by Pakistan ambassador to the UN.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of some leading experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News member Health and Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Paul urged everyone to follow social distancing in order to break the chain of transmission.
We ensure that there is universal social distancing. We ensure that the transmission chain of this deadly virus is broken once and for all. And the only effective way forward for us is to conform to the guidelines of ensuring fullest possible social distancing through lockdown.
Dr. Rakesh Misra, Director of Centre of Cellular and Molecular Biology, highlighted the importance of growing cultures of the virus in labs for developing vaccines and conducting serological tests.
We also have started growing the virus in the laboratory, which is very important technology platform for several things. One is vaccine preparation, so you can grow a lot of virus, inactivate it and use it as a vaccine. We are interacting with several companies and they will take it up from there and go and do trials. Then second thing is these are growing in the cell, so you have a cell culture system where you can test the drug. So add a drug and virus growth is stopped, which means it's an antiviral against COVID-19. Also, we can do serological testing, use them as an antigen to test the plasma of recovered patients, whether they have antibody against the virus, so that plasma can be used for plasma therapy.
Dr. Kaushik Sinha Deb of AIIMS appealed to the people to shed the stigma associated with COVID-19. He said the stigma related to COVID-19 is mainly driven by fear rather than actual scientific basis.
News and reports have also started coming that people have started becoming afraid of doctors in this time for the fear that the doctors and the frontline workers who have pledged their life for this COVID infection, they themselves might be furthering the infection. All medical professionals who are on active COVID duty, they take very strong precautions. It takes more than half an hour for a doctor to remove all the protective gear a medical professional uses while managing a COVID patient. So by the time a doctor comes out of an active duty into the community, chances of infection from a medical healthcare professional, therefore the reaction of trying to throw doctors out of the house is coming primarily from our fear.
Noted actress Vidya Balan has appealed to the people to come together in the fight against COVID-19.
ये बेशक हम सब के लिए एक बहुत ही कठिन और मुश्किल समय है और ये हिंदुस्तानियों की खासियत है कि कोई मुश्किल आती है तो हम सब साथ खड़े रहते हैं। पर इस वक्त साथ खड़े रहने का मतलब है कि हम एक दूसरे से दूरी बनाए रखें। घर पर रहिए, अपना ख्याल रखिए, stay home, stay safe.
The government has dismissed the claim by Gujarat Samachar showing figure of 8,000 people per 1 lakh population being corona affected in India. In a tweet, the Press Information Bureau termed it as factually incorrect. It clarified that around 8.3 persons per 1 lakh population are corona affected in the country as on yesterday evening. Pakistan International Airlines PIA plane with 107 people on board crashed into a densely populated residential area near the Jinnah International Airport in Karachi today. The official said Airbus carrying 99 passengers and 8 crew members from Lahore was about to land in Karachi when it crashed at the Jinnah Garden area near Model Colony in Malir. There is no confirmation on casualties so far, but many are feared dead. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed deep condolences to the families of the deceased in the Karachi plane crash in Pakistan. He wished for speedy recovery of the injured. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today called up the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamta Banerjee, and expressed her sympathy for the losses suffered by the state due to the cyclone Umpun. Prime Minister Hasina inquired about the damage caused by the cyclone, reported the official news agency BSS. Expressing sympathy at the loss of life and property, Sheikh Hasina hoped that the state will overcome the loss soon. In the meanwhile, according to Directorate General of Health Services, DGHS, the death toll due to cyclone Umpun climbed up to 26 in Bangladesh.
Railway has modified the terms and conditions of booking of tickets for 15 pairs of special trains. The advance reservation period of these trains will be increased from 7 days to 30 days. There will be no Tatkal booking in these trains. RAC and waiting list tickets will be issued in these trains. However, waitlisted passengers will not be allowed to board these trains. Railways is presently running 15 pairs of special trains with effect from 12th of this month. Railways Ministry said booking of tickets will be permissible through computerized PRS counters, including post offices, Yatri Ticket Suvidha Kendra and Common Services Centre, as well as through online booking. The first chart will be prepared at least 4 hours before scheduled departure, and second chart shall be prepared at least 2 hours before scheduled departure. Current booking will be permitted in between first and second chart. The ministry said the change will be implemented with the effect from train booking date 24th of May and for trains starting from 31st May onwards. In Himachal Pradesh, Deputy Commissioners have been asked to create additional facilities for institutional quarantine in their respective districts in view of the large number of people likely to arrive in the state in the upcoming days. Individuals arriving in the state from other parts of the country have to remain under institutional quarantine until they get investigated for COVID-19 test. More from a correspondent.
Chief Minister Jairam Thakur directed the officers through video conferencing to provide protective equipment to all corona warriors dealing with the persons arriving from various parts of the country. He said better facilities must be provided in quarantine centers so that people staying there do not face any inconvenience. Chief Minister said the safety of the people is the top priority of his government. It may be recalled that 130,000 people stranded in various parts of the country have reached the state till date. Meanwhile, number of active COVID-19 cases has gone up to 102 in this state. In Hamirpur district, 12 more fresh cases have been found today, taking the active cases in the district to 53. Sanjeev Sundariyal, AIR News, Shimla.
The Indian Air Force continues to be on high state of preparedness for undertaking humanitarian aid and disaster relief-related work in Cyclone Umpun affected areas. 56 heavy and medium lift air carriers, including 25 fixed-wing aircraft and 31 helicopters, have been earmarked by the Air Force to carry out relief works. The aircraft have been modified for undertaking relief operations and are on standby, with crew for a quick deployment at various IAF bases. The government of Nepal has expressed grief over the loss of lives and destruction of properties in West Bengal by Cyclone Umpun. Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a statement said the government of Nepal extends its heartfelt condolences and sympathies to the bereaved family members of the deceased as well as to the government of India. It also wishes speedy recovery for those injured.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital will witness minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and maximum of 44 degrees Celsius tomorrow. There will be a heat wave in the national capital. Mumbai will witness partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature in the city will be 27 degrees Celsius, while maximum will remain around 36 degrees Celsius. In the south, Chennai will see a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 29 and 41 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature in the metropolis will witness 25 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 31 degrees. On to north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will witness 24 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 38 degrees Celsius. The city will observe partly cloudy sky. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be 13 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 25 degrees. The city will observe partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 14 and 28 degrees Celsius. The city will observe partly cloudy sky. In Muzaffarabad, the sky will be generally cloudy. It witnesses minimum temperature of 15 degrees Celsius, while maximum temperature will be around 35 degrees Celsius.
The BJP today accused the Congress of playing cynical politics over the COVID-19 crisis. It alleged that the Congress President Sonia Gandhi and her family have indulged in what it called drama at the time of a national catastrophe. Party spokesperson GVL Narasimha Rao hit back at the Congress after Sonia Gandhi criticized the government over 20 lakh crore package. And now, before we end, the headlines once again. Prime Minister announces 1,000 crore rupee assistance to West Bengal and 500 crore rupees to Odisha for relief and rehabilitation work, says the nation stands in solidarity with our sisters and brothers in West Bengal and Odisha. RBI slashes lending rates and extends moratorium on loan repayment by 3 months to support economic growth. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 41%. Government proposes to raise airtime for advertisements on community radio to 12 minutes from 7 minutes per hour, says Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan takes charge as Chairman of WHO Executive Board. And Pakistan plane with 107 on board crashes in residential area in Karachi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses grief. And with that, we end the evening news.